From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, March 18th, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.38 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,229 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 1.2 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $1,080. Antiwar.com reports Saudi Arabia's invasion of Yemen has not only produced a humanitarian calamity in that country, but appears to be extending to people who are even adjacent to Yemen, as a Saudi military helicopter attacked a boat full of Somali refugees aiming to reach the Yemeni port city of Hodada, killing at least 42 of them. Hodada is a Red Sea port that has been the primary point of entry for humanitarian aid to Shiite northern Yemen, and subsequently has been regularly attacked by Saudi Arabia itself, with regular airstrikes badly damaging port infrastructure. Somali refugees have long flocked to Yemen, just a relatively short boat ride away, though the Saudi invasion has obviously made that trip both riskier and lower reward, since Yemen itself is facing major humanitarian shortages because of the Saudi blockade. The UN High Commission for Refugees reported that the slain refugees, whose bodies arrived in Hodada along with some survivors, included people who had official identifying documents from the UNHCR confirming their refugee status.
For nearly 40 years, Robertson Roberts brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports the Department of Justice on Friday signaled its intent to appeal one of the two court rulings suspending President Donald Trump's executive order restricting travel from 6 predominantly Muslim countries. In a short written notice to the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, the DOJ petitioned judges to hear an appeal of a Maryland District Court decision that halted implementation of a revised version of Trump's executive order. The judge in the case ruled the travel ban demonstrated unconstitutional religious bias against Muslims. Trump has said the travel ban is necessary to give the government time to examine its procedures, granting travel visas and refugee status to prevent terrorists from entering the country. Judges in Maryland and Hawaii both disagreed with the administration's position and halted the new rules from taking effect hours before they were set to be implemented. Friday's notice of appeal only applies to the Maryland case, though the government is expected to appeal the Hawaii court decision as well. Trump promised this week he would take the appeals to the U.S. Supreme Court if necessary. The Fourth Circuit Court did not set a quick timeline for hearing the government's case. It gave the DOJ a deadline of April 26 to file legal briefs and gave the immigrant groups that brought the lawsuit a month to respond. The Trump administration has cited existing federal law that grants the president power to suspend immigration for national security or economic reasons, but critics have pointed to conflicting laws that prohibit racial or religious bias in determining immigration policies. After calling the second order a watered-down version of the first one, Trump called the second wave of legal setbacks an unprecedented judicial overreach that made the country appear weak on terrorism.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard.
Reuters reports the U.S. Secret Service said on Friday a laptop was stolen from an agent's car in New York City, but that such agency-issued computers contain multiple layers of security and are not permitted to contain classified information. The agency said in a statement that it was withholding additional comment while an investigation continues. ABC News, citing law enforcement sources, said the laptop contained floor plans for Trump Tower, details on the criminal investigation of Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server, and other national security information. The New York Daily News, citing police sources, said authorities had been searching for the laptop since it was stolen on Thursday morning from the agent's vehicle in New York City's borough of Brooklyn. Other items stolen along with the laptop include coins and a black bag with Secret Service insignia on it. Those were later recovered, according to newspaper reports. CBS News, also citing law enforcement sources, said that some of the documents on the computer included important files on Pope Francis. The agent also told investigators that while nothing about the White House or foreign leaders is stored on the laptop, the information could compromise national security. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.